By every official measure, the economy appears to be fine. Unemployment is around 4%. Job growth appears to be strong on the surface, and GDP is still growing. But if this is true, why does it feel like everything is falling apart? Because the recession isn't coming. It's already here. The data just hasn't caught up yet. Here's the thing about recessions. They're always declared retroactively. The National Bureau of Economic Research doesn't announce a recession while it's happening. They wait 6 to 18 months, gather all the data, and then tell you what you already lived through. Take the global financial crisis of 2008. The recession actually started in December 2007, but it wasn't officially declared until December 2008, a full year later, after Lehman Brothers had already collapsed. Or the 2001 recession from the dot-com bubble. It began in March, but wasn't declared until November, 8 months later. This isn't due to stupidity, it's due to methodology. The NBER requires comprehensive data confirmation before making it official, which means you could be living through a recession right now and not know it for months. And that's exactly what's happening. The unemployment rate is around 4.4%, which doesn't sound too bad. But here's what that number doesn't tell you. It only counts people actively looking for work. Since the pandemic, over 1.6 million Americans have stopped looking for jobs. These people aren't counted as unemployed. They've disappeared from the statistics. At the same time, labor force participation has dropped by nearly 1.5% compared to pre-pandemic levels. So while unemployment looks low on paper, the reality is very different. And it gets worse. The jobs being created aren't the same quality as the ones being lost. Full-time jobs are disappearing, and part-time work is replacing them. If one full-time worker loses their job and takes 2 part-time jobs, the system counts that as 2 jobs added, meaning growth. Even with this accounting, 2025 saw only 181,000 net new jobs. Meanwhile, 4.4 million Americans are working part-time because they can't find full-time work. So yes, they're technically employed, but financially struggling. Income drops, security disappears, but the statistics still look healthy. It's like saying the housing market is fine because people still have roofs over their heads, while ignoring that they've moved from houses into tiny apartments. Now add inflation. Prices have risen over 25% since 2020. Many people can't keep up. They're holding their lifestyle together with credit cards, and that's the problem. Credit card debt hit a record $1.28 trillion at the end of 2025. Average interest rates are around 22%. So spending isn't strong because people earn more. It's strong because people borrow more. And savings tell the same story. Historically, Americans saved about 8% of their income. Now it's down to around 4.5%. This is classic pre-recession behavior. People take on more debt to maintain their lifestyle until they can't anymore. We've seen this before. In 2007, strong consumer spending was celebrated right before everything collapsed, and today feels similar. The leading economic index has declined for 6 consecutive months, the same pattern seen before past recessions. And the cracks are spreading into businesses too. Commercial bankruptcies have risen over 7%, reaching more than 24,500 filings, the highest in over a decade. So maybe this is coincidence, or maybe it's not, because multiple warning signs are flashing at once. Falling participation, weaker jobs, rising debt, shrinking savings. This isn't one bad metric. It's a full pattern, like a car where every warning light turns on at once. Something deeper is wrong. So why do the official numbers still look healthy? Because the system we use to measure the economy has blind spots. For example, if you work just 1 hour a week, you're counted as employed. GDP also counts borrowed money the same as earned income, and that leads to a distorted picture. This is explained by something called Goodhart's law. When a measure becomes a target, it stops being a good measure. So instead of optimizing reality, the system starts optimizing the numbers, and over time, those numbers drift away from real life. That's why your experience can feel completely different from what reports say, and that's where recessions hide, in the gap between data and reality. Eventually, the recession will be declared, but by then, it won't be news. It will just confirm what people already felt. So next time you hear strong economy, look deeper. Ask about job quality. Compare wages to inflation. Check spending against debt, because there's always more beneath the surface. The real economy leaves clues, and right now, those clues are forming a clear pattern. So the real question is, how long will it take for the data to catch up this time? And when it does, who will be prepared and who will be blindsided?